Though the Delhi election results will be out only tomorrow, but one thing is very clear. Whether Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party wins or loses, the Kejriwal phenomena is there to stay. The question that arises is, what exactly is the Kejriwal phenomena? I think the Kejriwal phenomena basically is based on three basic parameters, three basic things. One, it is a yearning for change. I know all parties have been talking about change since independence, but in this case, people realize on the basis of his functioning for 48 or 49 days as CM in Delhi, that here is a man who can bring about the change that we've been seeking. So it is not just his talk for change. He is, in fact, his actions show that he can bring about the change that is required. The second is the ideology that Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party is kind of evolving into. So far, we've had either socialism or capitalism or a combination of the two. Most parties have been actually hobnobbing with both ideologies whenever it suited them. But Arvind Kejriwal's and Aam Aadmi Party's ideology is people-oriented. It is, if one can call it an ism, it is people-ism. Let's not confuse it with populism. This is different. Populism is actually, all parties have been practicing populism. So this party's policy is people-ism, which is people-centric. This is what is different from the other parties. Thirdly, the Aam Aadmi Party stands for an ideology which is unitary and not divisive in nature. I know even the Congress after independence started off in the same direction. They actually did very well for a number of years, but then lost direction somewhere down the line. In fact, the 1984 anti-Sikh violence is something that the party will never be able to forgive itself about. The BJP also talks about unity and integrity, but its policies are coercive in nature. There is no place for dissent in either of those two parties. But in the case of Aam Aadmi Party, they draw their strength from dissent. In fact, during these elections, you must have noticed that Shanti Bhushan hit out at Kejriwal, but Kejriwal did not react by issuing him a show-cause notice and so on. So I think this party does not mind dissent within the party as long as it helps them improve. The result of Kejriwal's basics and postulates is that the other parties are also following the Aam Aadmi Party. They are trying to follow their agenda. So they are setting the agenda. The party during Delhi polls and before the polls had started something called the Delhi dialogues. They were interacting with people to form their policies. Now even the BJP has said that in case they come to power, they will actually be interacting with the people all the time. In fact, the Aam Aadmi Party is setting the agenda not only for other parties, it is also setting the agenda for the media organizations. The Aam Aadmi Party has been talking about or talking against the VIP culture, against the red lights that are on the vehicles. You must have noticed that during the Delhi polls, a national television channel, NDTV, also started a campaign against the VIP culture. So in a way, the Aam Aadmi Party policies are influencing various other sections and including the media. We all know that after the last Delhi elections, the Aam Aadmi Party lost direction. In the Lok Sabha polls, they did very badly, except in Punjab. And in Punjab, of course, it was different reasons. The anti-incumbency against the Akali BJP government was very strong. And there was infighting in the Congress. So all those who basically wanted to vote for Nota, as they say, none of the above, they basically ended up voting for Aam Aadmi Party. But since then, the party has learnt a lesson. The Aam Aadmi Party devised a very clear strategy for the Delhi elections. And this was very evident from the couple of things that they did. For example, when Arvind Kejriwal was asked about his resignation as Chief Minister last time, he openly admitted that possibly he made a mistake. He said, "I'm human, and human beings make a mistake." Most political parties will not admit a mistake, which Arvind Kejriwal did. Secondly, the Aam Aadmi Party realized that they did not have very many candidates for the various seats. So they did not mind taking candidates with a clean image from the other parties. Last elections, they did not have too many people from other parties, but this time as many as 16 or 17 out of the 70 candidates had come from other parties. Arvind Kejriwal last time was very aggressive in his attitude. This time, he did not vent venom against his opponents. In fact, he allowed the opponents to do that. They called him a Naxalite. They said Aam Aadmi Party is a Hawala and Gotala party. They said the Aam Aadmi Party's funding is suspect, but I think none of these things appear to have stuck against the Aam Aadmi Party. Last elections, the Aam Aadmi Party basically fought on the basis of the anti-corruption movement. They did talk about giving electricity and water at cheaper rates. But this time they've gone beyond all that. They're talking about women's safety. They're even talking about Wi-Fi for the people of Delhi. The idea is to connect with the younger generation. And this is not just empty rhetoric and talk. They have even roped in Adarsh Shastri, who is the grandson of Lal Bahadur Shastri, the former Prime Minister of India and a former employee of the Apple company. So they are very serious about it and they want the people to know about it. And lastly, I think the party decided to broad base its appeal. Last time, its campaign was anti-corruption. It tried to link with the Dalits. It talked about the minorities and their problems. Now, it is even aiming at a major section of the majority community. That's why it has gone for 3 C's: corruption, the anti-corruption movement, communalism, and criminality. Criminality because they feel that there should be no criminals in politics. Even their own candidates, some of them have FIRs, but they made sure they looked at the various cases against the various candidates. And as far as communalism is concerned, they're very clear that they are a secular party and they are not only for one section or one religion. In fact, this is the reason why they kind of rejected Shah Imam's appeal or support to the party. So in a way, they have realized that unless they have the majority community or a significant section of the majority community with them, it will be very difficult for them to form the government. This is actually, they have learnt the electoral politics, so they say. The question that arises, what now? Will the Arvind Kejriwal phenomena stay? I think it will, unless he consolidates all the power in himself. If he does not delegate, there is a danger that this phenomena will fade away. Second, I think he has to keep inventing himself. The party has to keep inventing itself. This idea of an ombudsman is a very good idea for the party. Now, when they go into states, they'll have to adapt to the problems of the states and the problems of the people of these states. One size fits all would not do. Whatever worked in Delhi may not work in Punjab, and so on. Yes, the Arvind Kejriwal phenomena could fade away if the other parties adopt their agenda, but unlikely that they will be able to do it in toto, because the other parties are cadre-based. They have cadres which have stuck with them for a long time, and the cadres will resist the change. That's why perhaps Kiran Bedi wasn't welcome in the BJP amongst a lot of cadre-based people of the BJP. So I think the Arvind Kejriwal phenomena will, in all probability, stay unless they make mistakes of the kinds they made in the past. The important thing to see and watch in the coming months would be how the Arvind Kejriwal phenomena plays itself out against itself and vis-a-vis the party in power at the center.